Welcome to the Revolutionary CEO Podcast. I'm your host, Letitia Lynch, adaptable marketing strategist, boy mom, and CEO who believes in making marketing work for you. Right now, you probably feel like your marketing is fine, like not great, not terrible, just kind of there. You get leads sometimes, but not enough to feel like you're in control of your business, not unless you go hard doing something like a launch or posting more frequently because you happen to have a burst of energy, which, happens sometimes, but not often enough to count on long term. Some months are solid though. The leads will come in, you'll have a couple of sales calls pop up on the calendar, a past client will reach out to work together again, and all is well. And others, they're slow. You post, and not only is it crickets on your content, it's also crickets in your bank account too. And you tell yourself it'll pick up soon because it usually does, but deep down, you know that's not a strategy, and you really can't keep dealing with the stress of the unpredictability of revenue in your business that it's putting on you and your family. And it's not because you can't make money, by the way. Like, I know you can make money. You know what you can do to make the money too when you need it bad enough. But the hustle was supposed to be done by now because you're not a new business owner anymore and you're tired of that kind of pace. And you know something needs to change, but you just don't know what it is. And the longer you wait to fix it, the more money you're leaving on the table. And really, the more you trap yourself into the belief that the cash injection, high pressure, daily posting hustle is what is necessary for you to get these results. One of the hardest but most freeing things I've had my members do in Revolutionary Society is to commit to their average, slower paced marketing schedule for 30 full days so that they can discover two things. One, that leads will still come to them and book sales calls, visit their services page, DM them, engage with their content, and grab that lead magnet. And two, they'll still make sales and book clients. But the reality is, this is the start of them also building out their new marketing reality, because when they were killing themselves before and seeing inconsistencies anyway, they realized they can actually slow down and measure what happens in this instance. And then we spend the next 60 days after that closing the gap in the number of leads that they need to have enough people to sell to. And because they marketed at this pace that worked for them, they were able to stay consistent long enough to improve their results through natural momentum and better strategies. Imagine that, struggling for years with inconsistent revenue in your business, then finally fixing it in 90 days, and the solution actually forced you to slow down. They were building a marketing system, and we'll talk about what it is and how it works in this episode. And to learn more about just working with me in Revolutionary Society to build yours, learn more at the link in the show notes. Now, you are currently still in that cycle of my marketing is a hit or miss some months, but since you find a way to recover with cash injections and amazing launches, you aren't seeing the true cost of the marketing inconsistency. So I want to talk about how marketing inconsistencies cost you revenue throughout the year. And also what would eliminate marketing inconsistency to give you the predictability your nervous system is craving in your business. And you've already gotten a little sneak peek of obviously what that is. And yes, it's the marketing system. And as intimidating as it sounds, it's actually easy to create. That's not the problem, but just hard to really commit to for 90 days without slipping back into old overworking habits, but you'll see why soon. So first, let's talk about what I mean by marketing inconsistencies before I put into perspective how it costs you throughout the year. Marketing inconsistencies look like how one month you'll post to stories and you'll get like 100 views every day, and then the next week it's capping at like 20. Or how you'll launch your offer one month and you'll get like 23 people who enroll in the offer, and then you'll use the exact same emails and only get 9 people the next time you launch. Your gut reaction to these inconsistencies are to post more content, to launch more frequently, to change your price, to add more bonuses, to update your website copy, to invest in another photo shoot for better branding. And yes, all of that has a cost of your time and even money to invest in the copywriters, designers, photographers, but the cost of marketing inconsistency is bigger than just unnecessary investments. Let's talk numbers. If your average client is worth, say, $3,000 and you're only getting 1 to 2 clients a month when you could be getting 4 to 5 with a better system, that means you're leaving at least 6 to 9K on the table every single month. That's $72,000 a year in lost revenue, not because you're bad at what you do, not because people don't want to pay you, but because your marketing isn't consistently bringing in leads. And you keep pushing yourself to post, launch. And what happens? You burn out, you ghost your account for weeks at a time, and then you pop back in to start all over again, leaving these gaps of lost revenue in the wake of those breaks and ghostings every single time. So the real problem isn't that you need breaks, because you need them, or that you don't want to have to post content all the time, because who the hell does? Or that you can't keep up with launching every damn month, because I'm a marketing person who loves this shit and I even can't keep up with the pace every single week or every single month. It's your marketing system, or better yet, the lack of a real one. And without a real marketing system in place, your business will always be unpredictable like this, despite not needing to be. So if you've been listening to my podcast or my content for any amount of time, you'll know that this isn't the first time I've actually mentioned a marketing system, especially not on this podcast. I've actually referred to it as a launch optional lead generation process in episode 62, which I'll gladly link in the show notes. And you've also heard me refer to it as a lead generation system, but whatever name I lovingly call it, at the end of the day, having one in place would eliminate marketing inconsistency to give you the predictability, again, your nervous system is craving right now in your business. And because marketing isn't just about getting your name out there, your name is already out there, boo. And it's not about posting more, being everywhere, and getting more visible, because you did all of that, and all you had to show for it was animosity toward the activity of marketing, an activity that ironically is a requirement for small business. No, it's really about having a system that turns strangers into leads without you constantly having to do more all the time to make that happen. Because if you don't have that, your business will always feel like the roller coaster it feels like now. And I'm not just talking about you needing another plan or more tips. You actually need a proven framework that works no matter how much or how little energy you have on any given day. The framework that will do that needs to be a foundation of you marketing at the pace you can realistically maintain on a typical basis, because that's the baseline measurement for leads and sales. Then the framework will incorporate strategies to attract passive leads and convert passive sales to cover you in the times where you can't market or sell at all. Hello, vacation, unexpected illness, bereavement, and planned maternity leave. The framework also needs to incorporate strategies that allow you to add volume to your leads and sales so you can scale revenue as needed when you have the energy and capacity to do so. This is the marketing system, and as I said earlier, the hardest part about it is having the discipline to not slip back into bad habits you've had all these years. The one where you panic because your reel didn't get as much engagement as you expected, and then you post 3 more that week when you know that you don't want to have to create that much content, especially not videos. It's where you make a lead magnet, promote it one time, and months later call it trash because it didn't work, when really you didn't promote it enough or get enough people to grab it to even know if it's actually trash. What's trash about it? Is it the emails or the lead magnet itself, or the marketing behind the lead magnet? And don't even get me started on how you probably have to actively market the lead magnet because you never really implemented any passive strategies to get that thing out there outside of a highlight on IG, a featured post on LinkedIn, or even the link in your bio. In Revolutionary Society, they actually have an entire separate training on passively marketing the lead magnets before they even learn to actively market it so that it will get leads daily, whether they talk about it or not. Having the discipline to trust the process and spend the full 90 days setting up your marketing system so you can spend the rest of the year and the years to follow enjoying it is the hardest part of the marketing system. But the marketing system brings in daily leads to your inbox, your DM, your contact form, your website, because it has a healthy balance of marketing content and automations on platforms that allow an equal amount of active and passive, meaning you set it up and check it every so often, marketing and sales strategies. That's actually what we build inside of Revolutionary Society, by the way. So Revolutionary Society actually started out as my mission to help service providers just diversify marketing outside of social media, because so many just depended on it and referrals for basically all their revenue that they had very little opportunity to even just adapt their marketing when their energy and capacity shifted. And this was 2022, mind you. But as time went on, even I knew it was more than just needing to occasionally adapt on demand. The system needed to always run so that the baseline was that whether I'm active or not, that the business makes the base revenue I need and attracts enough of a new pool of leads to keep the cycle going every month. And obviously, no, you can't just disappear for months with zero preparation, but you also shouldn't have to always be on, always need to launch to hit your goals, or have to have an ads budget to get enough exposure. And I built and tested out a framework where you don't. And because we focus on planning for low, average, and high energy and capacity times, knowing what has to be done for leads and sales to happen at minimum, the system will always work once it's in place. Now, you can join Revolutionary Society and set up your marketing system by visiting revolutionarysociety.com or the link in the show notes. So in this episode, we talked about why you're in that cycle of hit or miss marketing and the obvious and not so obvious unnecessary costs it's burdening you and your business with. I also shared the solution, which is a marketing system, and how it only takes 90 days to set up, but it also takes a lot of discipline to trust the process without slipping back into your overworking and overdoing it habits in those 90 days. But once it's in place, your business no longer has to worry about leads and sales when you get sick, need a break, are booked and busy, or schedule time off. And ultimately, that is the goal you have right now. You want to wake up and know leads are coming in, not just once in a while, not just when you're launching, all the time. And all along, you didn't know that what you really wanted was just this marketing system. You want a marketing system that feels clear, so you know exactly what to do and when. Feels realistic, so you can actually follow through instead of starting and stopping. Feels effective, so when you do market, you know it's working. You always understood when you started the business and it took off that marketing was a part of the job, but you never wanted marketing to feel like an extra full-time job. You want to know that even when you're not posting, your business is still growing. And that's what this marketing system is meant to do. You just have to be willing to set it up. And to get the support, framework, time-saving resources, and on-demand marketing strategists to help you set it up, this marketing system, join Revolutionary Society at revolutionarysociety.com or visit the link in the show notes. And since we're building this system live in Revolutionary Society right now, we started in January 2025. The next episode on this podcast will actually be a bonus episode with an update on the members' results and learnings after committing to their first 30 days of their average energy and capacity schedule. So you don't want to miss that one. See you next time. If you enjoyed this episode, subscribe to the Revolutionary CEO podcast on your favorite podcast listening platform and leave a review to let me know the moments you enjoyed most. Substackers, Spotify users, and YouTubers, leave me a comment with your biggest takeaway or questions from the episode. And be sure to connect with me on Instagram, YouTube, or Threads. I'm always at Her Marketing Coach. Talk to you next week.